Hello, hello, hello. It's Barbara, your Sacred Circle makeup artist. And I'm hoping that this is recording because it doesn't say, oh, there we go. Yes, it is. I'm live so far for 23 seconds. So I'm going to give it maybe another 30 seconds more to see if anybody hops on. And hoping that it does. Yay! Okay, I got one person. Yay! Awesome. So today's topic is about eye makeup application techniques, eyeshadows, eyeliner, mascara. So we're just focusing just on the eyes. We'll definitely do a class on the brows, definitely more technique on wing liner, but right now, for this class, we're just going to focus on the simple, basic techniques on how to put on eye makeup. I feel like once you get the fundamentals of this, you're going to know how to put on eye makeup and elaborate it and transition it more, or add more color, or try different colors. So for those of you all coming on, it's Barbara Rodriguez, your Sacred Circle makeup artist expertise. I'm so excited to do this class on eye makeup, and I do have this bold lip on because Chanel, I don't know if you all watched the videos, the videos that she did for these past 3 days, and she had some serious, on and popping lips. I was inspired. I was like, I need to come on live Facebook with an on and popping lip too. So I was feeling inspired, so yeah. So we're gonna get started. I did send on the Facebook group, I did send like a brush guide, and it was focused on eye brushes and the eye brushes that you must have. So I'm actually going to pull them up here for you. And I believe in that guide, and I think that you guys could download it or screenshot it just to keep it as reference. I think it's really important that you have some sort of brush guide in front of you as a place of reference, whether you're going to go and purchase brushes or you need to know what's what. So the brushes I remember from the brush guide that I had sent you, it basically identified these 5 brushes. Okay, and we're going to identify each one of them, and I am kind of out of order, but I'm just going to go for it. So this is more of like that stiff brush that I had sent you on that brush guide. It's a little bit of a blending feel to it, but it's a little bit stiffer. This is your blending brush. A blending brush moves back and forth. It's fluffy. And then this is your pencil brush. And a pencil brush or a dome brush, it's much more stiff, short, and it looks like a pencil or a little dome. This is your eyeshadow brush that's flat on both sides. It's synthetic, it's not fluffy, and it's movable, but it's not as flexible as a blending brush. And then you have your angle brush, which is going to help you with your eyeliner and precise lining. Yay! Awesome. Okay, so these are your brushes. So we're going to get started with the eye makeup application. So I don't have absolutely no eye makeup on whatsoever. I mean, I definitely have brows on. I have a little bit of a highlighter. But aside from that, I don't have any kind of eye makeup on. Thank you. You like these good lips? I was inspired by Chanel. I was like, whatever lipstick she's wearing, I want to wear something close to that because I need to look good on live Facebook. Anyways, moving forward. So I know that you guys can't really see me that well. I mean, see the actual clearness of what I have on my face. I do have a little bit of a white powder underneath my eyes just to kind of keep my concealer set. Usually when you do your eye makeup, you always want to do your eye makeup first before you do your foundation and your concealer and all that. And I'll explain why. And if I don't explain why, if I miss the details on that, I will explain why, like afterwards, like on the comment box and whatnot. Okay, so let's get started. So when you start off with eye makeup, you always, and I'm gonna say it one more time, always want to use an eyeshadow base. The purpose of an eyeshadow base, people also call it primer, but the purpose of an eyeshadow base is for your eyeshadows to stay on. It prevents it from creasing, it gives it better color payoff, and I'll give you an example of what an eyeshadow base looks like. I mean, I'm going to try my very best to kind of work with the lighting here, and bear with me, you guys. I'm really working on lighting so you can see the clearness of everything that I'm teaching, because especially when we're talking about color, I want you to see it in lines and application. I want you to really see it for what it is. But the eyeshadow base is creamy. Usually they're flat. They have a flat tone to it. What I mean by that, there's no shimmer, there's no multicolors to it. It's just like a flat tone. And when you do an eyeshadow base, you always want to use an eyeshadow base. Hey, Don. You always want to use an eyeshadow base that is close to your skin tone. It doesn't have to be exactly. It's okay if it's lighter. It's okay if it's like medium. You want to make sure it's not darker than your complexion, but you want to make sure it's pretty close and that it's a neutral tone. Neutral tone meaning there's like no color to it. It's either beige or ivory or a tan, a camel. Those are all neutral tones. Okay? Eyeshadow base. So going back to me introducing the brushes. Remember I introduced this brush. This is your flat shadow brush. Synthetic. It's not too flexible. You want it to be flat for a good reason, and I'll explain why. So, like I said, I have no eye makeup on, but this is the first step. You always want to do an eyeshadow base first. An eyeshadow base prevents your eyeshadow from creasing. It gives it better color payoff to the eyeshadows that you're going to put on. It's going to allow the eyeshadow to go on smoother. It actually attaches the product so much more easier onto your skin, depending on what your skin type is, or on your eyes as well. Alright, so I am scooping out eyeshadow base on a little scooper. You don't have to do that. You can literally take your brush and take the product only on one side of the brush. It's just easier for me to use a little spatula. I am a makeup artist, so I will get particular. Like, that's what I do. So sorry. But anyways, this is my eyeshadow base. And I'm going to put it on one side of the brush. You don't have to overload your brush with product. And I think that I talked about this when we did the foundation. Oh, sorry about that, you guys. I talked about this with foundation. A little bit goes a long ways with makeup. You don't need to put so much product in order for you to see something or for it to appear. If anything, you want subtlety so it can appear nicely and beautifully. Okay, so you're going to put the eyeshadow base that's on one side of your brush. I hope that you guys can see me, because this is actually the first time me demonstrating a makeup technique on myself. So you're going to press that eyeshadow base right at the bottom base of your lid, bringing it into the inner corner, and then out, center, and then you're going to bring it upwards. But the whole entire time that I'm putting this eyeshadow base, I am pressing. I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing this. I am pressing. And the reason why you want to press product onto your skin like this, especially a cream product, you want it to have like a nice evenness to it. So if you do this, you're removing product and you're kind of swaying it back and forth if you had done this. when you're pressing it, you're really allowing that product to really go on smoothly and the way that it needs to. So when you put on the eyeshadow, it just latches on better. Hope that makes sense. Make sense? Awesome. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate it again. You're going to pick up the eyeshadow base only on one side of the brush. Because if you had done it on both sides, it could get messy. So you want to be as particular as possible when it comes to makeup application and makeup technique. I'm showing you technique at this point. So only on one side of the brush. And I will make recommendations if you guys want to know what kind of eyeshadow base to use, where and whatnot. There's just so many out there. So you're going to, again, press that product starting at the bottom base of your eye, bringing it into the inner corner, bringing it to the center, out, and then center. And remember, the whole entire time I'm pressing. Another thing, I'm not picking up any more product. So whatever I have left on the brush after I have done these steps, I'm just going to bring it upward towards my brow bone. Because you don't need an overload of product in this area. Because more so, you're going to be putting eyeshadow on the lid, outer corner, and crease. So that's where you want to put the most product of eyeshadow base so it can attach better or latch better. Make sense? Awesome. So I've got my eyeshadow base on. I don't know if you ladies can see the difference with the eyeshadow base. Eyeshadow base, literally, like, you can just do that all by itself and call it a day for your eyes. It literally, like, makes your eyes look more awake, more refreshed, and it takes down all the discoloration or unevenness of tone on your eyes, whether your veins are showing through or you have redness or darkness. An eyeshadow base just kind of helps, like, give it divine flow on your eyes, where it's just like nice and clean and even in tone. So even just doing that makes a world of a difference. You could just leave and put a bold lip on and you're good to go. Okay, but we're not going to stop there. So that was the first step. Now, the second step is we're going to go into eyeshadows. So before we go into applying eyeshadows, I want to explain something about eyeshadows. And I had a few questions about, like, colors and when do you wear certain colors and how. That's where it gets, like, a little bit, like, tricky and challenging. Ladies, you don't have to wear an eyeshadow color that is the same as your clothing. I mean, you could. There's nothing completely wrong with that, but don't feel like that's the rule of thumb. And every single time you wear makeup, oh my God, I gotta wear green eyeshadow because I had a green dress on. No, that's a little too monochromatic. And it's okay if you do. It's just in the way that you put it and what you mix it, what other tones you blend it with. That all matters as well too. I'm not totally against it. It's just, don't feel like that's something that you have to do. Okay, so I'm going to show you several eyeshadow palettes. Here's one. Hopefully I can just kind of pull it back so you can see the tones. So there's like a chocolate brown here, there's like a shimmery green here, some ivory, some beige, and then there's like another eyeshadow palette here. And I hope that you guys can see the tones for what they are. I apologize, sometimes the light reflects against it. But again, they're all kind of like browns and champagnes, chocolate browns and blacks. And then there's like another eyeshadow palette here. I've got tons, I don't want to confuse you guys. But as you can see, this is more of like my purples and my beige and my ivories. And then another one. I don't want to overwhelm you. I just want you to see tones. These are like more browns, champagnes. Got my black in there as well too. Okay, So I don't know if you saw a commonality with the eyeshadow tones that I showed you. They all had earthy tones to it. There were browns and plums and tans and coppers, and you know, there was definitely a green in there and a burgundy. Like all those type of tones complement everybody, every single complexion, every single skin tone that you can think of. Now, the deepness or the brightness or the lightness of the shades matter to your complexion. They really do. But anything in the brown family, anything in the purple, like warm family, anything in the warm, neutral, earthy tones, anybody can wear. Anybody can wear it. Now, if we want to like do like a red, yellow, a bright violet, purple, green, like a emerald green, or like blues, that you gotta consult with me first. You gotta consult with me first, because you're taking a little too far when you start playing with those colors. Not that I'm against it. I'm not against them at all. It's just a matter of understanding how to use them. So for today's class, I'm gonna keep it real simple. We're gonna use neutral tones, earthy tones, just to show you that those are the tones that you can use all the time. And change them around, okay? So we're gonna go for it. So I'm actually just gonna introduce this palette. So this palette has pretty much every color that I would like to use, but I'm only going to introduce 3 tones to you, just to, again, make it real simple, make it real easy for you, okay? Blending brush. I'm gonna introduce the blending brush. You need to have this in your life. This needs to happen. Like, this needs to be like near you, a nice one, a nice quality one. This is going to change everything, and I'll explain why. And I'm also going to show you how to multi-use your brushes as well too. Okay, blending brushes. A blending brush. The purpose of a blending brush is to blend. But the purpose of a blending brush is to allow colors to go on more softly. When a brush is fluffy like this and it's flexible and it moves back and forth, it has thin bristles at the top that when you pick up product at the top, it allows that product to go on softly because of the way that the brush is made. Versus if you had done something like this, which is more flat and synthetic, and you put some eyeshadow color on, you're gonna see that eyeshadow on. There's times where you don't want to see that eyeshadow on. You want it to see it lightly to create dimension and to create contour, to create transition. And yeah, so going on to the word transition. So what I'm going to introduce is transition tone. So transition tone is an eyeshadow tone that is 2, 3, or could be even darker, 4 shades darker than your complexion, okay? And before we even start, because I know I'm talking a lot, but I really want you to get this and understand this, because eyeshadows, there's a science to them. There really is. You gotta understand the steps, and you gotta understand the tones, and you also gotta understand the finishes. So when you're doing your eyeshadows, there's a difference in tone. There's a difference in finishes. What I mean by finishes is there's finishes like shimmers, there's finishes like mattes, and there's finishes like pearlescent, there's finishes like glitter. And you have to understand that and identify that. Mattes. Oh, I love me some mattes. Mattes just like complete my world. Matte eyeshadows are completely flat. They're opaque. There's no shimmer to them. They're absolutely amazing, and you want shimmers. Shimmers. I don't want to confuse you. You want mattes. You want to include mattes in your eyeshadow palettes, matte tones. And the reason why you want to do that is because when you use matte tones, they actually, because they're flat, they transition better with other colors. If you had done a shimmer with a shimmer and a glitter and a pearlescent together, like all together, and you never put a matte up in that joint, you're gonna look like a huge, like 2 ornaments on your eyes. Like that's not cute. That's not cute. Also, using a matte tone is also gonna help balance tones. I'm not saying that you can't use a shimmer, but I'll tell you when you can use the shimmer. Okay, so going in with the transition tone. So I'm gonna go in with a matte. I'm gonna go in with this one. And I'm going, yeah, no ornaments, Dawn, no ornaments. So I'm going to use this blending brush. So when you pick up your matte tone, you're going to literally swirl the blah, 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 blah. You're going to swirl the brush just like that. And you're going to tap it. A little tap, tap. When you tap, you actually remove excess tone off, just in case you picked up too much. And the transition tone is going to go into the outer corner of the eye, bringing it into the crease, stopping 1/4 away, or no, stopping mid. How about mid? No, 1/4 away from the beginning of the eye. Sorry guys, I had to kind of figure that out for like a minute. Okay, do you see that? Do you see that? So the purpose of a transition tone, it's going to help, again, like I said, balance all the other tones that you're going to put on your eye. So using a tone like this, and this needs to happen. If you don't include this in your eye makeup application, what happens is that when you put the other eyeshadows on, and you put them in your lid, or you put them in your outer corner or up here, and they just don't seem to kind of just transition or like just balance, is because you don't got a transition tone. You need a transition tone. You need a transition tone. Transition tone. All right, so again, I'm going to demonstrate that outer corner and bring it into the crease. All right, awesome. I'm going to do it again. And you literally can do this, ladies, at home with a mirror right in front of you with your eyes open. So, for example, for those of you who were asking me about, oh, what about hooded eyes and eyes that kind of overlap? You still got it. You still have a crease. You still have it. It's just a matter of identifying it. So what a trick that I do is you get really, really, really close to the mirror, right? Pretend y'all my mirror. And you get really close, and you're literally gonna dive the brush into the into the outer corner of the eye, and you're gonna push. And when you push, you're literally going to see your crease. No matter if you have hooded eyes or eyelids that kind of overlap, you still want to do this step. And let's say that you can't see it because of the hooded eyes. You're going to raise that color a little bit more upward, up onto your brow bone. Okay? For those of you who have hooded eyes. But everybody else, outer corner, bring it back and forth, almost like a windshield wiper motion. Not mode, motion. Okay. So we got that transition tone on. Transition tone's gotta happen. Awesome. Okay. Yay. Alright, so we introduced doing the eyeshadow base first, and then we use the the eyeshadow brush for that. Then we use the blending brush to do the transition tone that you put in the crease. And now your third step is your pencil brush or dome brush or little painting brush. No, it's not a painting brush. This is like more like a painting brush. It's just really small. It has like a slight thickness to it. And this, ladies, is how you create your smoky eye. This brush right here is how you create a smoky eye. Everybody, or a lot of people, not everybody, I'm generalizing, has this, I don't know what it is, like they just don't understand that they need something detailed in order for them to accomplish a smoky eye. And I'll show and explain why. What happens is that people have the idea that they need to use big old brushes like this to create something smoky. If anything, you're doing a big old mess on your eye, and then you want to take it off, and you're just like, ugh, I can't do this anymore, I give up on life. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to show you how not to give up on life with this pencil brush. Alright, awesome. So, I'm going to, when you use this pencil brush, you're actually going to pick up the darkest tone that is 1, 2, maybe 3 shades darker than your skin tone. And this is where you can introduce black or a dark chocolate brown or a dark plum. But this is where you can go dark, but using this brush. So remember, your eyeshadow base is always going to be close to your skin tone complexion. Your transition tone is going to be maybe 2, 3, or could be 4 shades darker. I mean, we're definitely going to do more classes on how to elaborate your eyes even more, but I'm showing you the fundamentals of how to put on eye makeup the right way, or not the right way because there's so many different ways, but the more simplistic way that I think that's going to be retainable for you ladies. Okay? All right. So when you pick up your darkest tone, you're going to swirl the brush, but in a very small circular motion. So you literally want that color right at the top of the brush, and you can tap as well too. Okay. So when you do the darker tone on your eyes, you're going to do the darker tone right in the outer corner of your eye. And what you're doing here is you're placing color. And what's nice about this pencil brush is allowing you to really put that color only in the outer corner of the eye. So you're almost kind of like creating this C, V, I don't know, backwards V. You're literally just kind of curving the brush going to inside the eye. Don't ever fan out the color. When I do my classes, I notice a lot of ladies have a tendency to fan out the color. You never want to do that. You literally want to hug the color in, because when you fan out, yes, you're creating another style of makeup, but you're dragging the color out, and you don't want to do that at all. You want to bring attention to where you're placing the eyeshadow, which is around the circumference of your eye. Okay? All right. Moving on to the next one. So right now it looks a little crazy because I'm just placing color, but this is exactly how you do a smoky eye. I'm showing you 3 color eyeshadow placements and blending and technique, but I'm also showing you, like, through this, how you're creating that smoky eye and that balance of tones and transition tone and, you know, and all that fun stuff. And doing like different style of eye makeup. And so again, and yes, I'm closing my eyes. I don't want to close my eyes because I want to show you that you can literally like go in front of the mirror and keep your eyes open. And sorry, it's just bad habit when I'm teaching, but you literally keep your eyes open and go back and forth. And it's okay if it's not like even, just make sure it's in the area that I'm telling you to put it in. Outer corner. Almost kind of creating like this C, hugging the eye, C shape, like curving it in. So you're literally doing this. Okay? And this is where you have the opportunity to add more tone to darken it. Or you could just leave it like this. But the more you put on, the more intensity you're going to get out of the smoky eye that you want to achieve or accomplish. But again, I want to kind of come back and understand that the steps I'm showing is the fundamentals that you need to know on how to even apply eye makeup on the correct way. Okay? Awesome. All right. So I'm going to do this again because I think I want to intensify it because I'm Barbara and I'm just extra. You know, it's like so hard to contain myself with just being a little bit subtle. I'm just kidding. All right, so we got that. See? So I just placed color on my eye. I just placed it, and this is exactly what you want to do to kind of start creating this like contour smoky effect. Every single time you want to start off with doing your eye makeup, you want to always make sure you do an eyeshadow base. You always want to make sure you do a transition tone. And if you want to add intensity, this is your next step. If you want to create a smoky eye, this is your next step. So for those of you going back to having hooded eyes, same thing. You're going to put that color in the outer corner of the eye, but let's say, oh my god, I can't find it. Again, like you can literally like kind of stretch your skin upward like this and put it here. But with you guys, you can bring it up again to your crease just to give it that dimension. No matter if your eyes are hooded or the skin is overlapped, you could still achieve this. You could still, I have done it plenty of times with my classes, so don't feel like you can't, okay? All right, so now, again, remember how I said that I'm going to show you how to multi-use your brushes. Remember how we used the blending brush and we put it in the crease, or yep, for your transition tone? We're going to go back in with this blending brush. And remember what the purpose of a blending brush was for? Maybe I should wait for answers, or maybe not. I mean, yeah, of course it's blending, but the purpose of a blending brush is for the color to go on lighter and to just look softer. So you see this, how harsh this looks? We don't want to leave this like that, right? So we're gonna pick up layering tones. Yes, Dawn. So you're going. I like that. I'm gonna use that layering. I gotta get my English right. Layering tones. Blend. Awesome. So I'm gonna pick up I'm gonna take that blending brush and I'm gonna pick up that darkest tone that I had done with the pencil brush, and I'm gonna literally like lightly swirl that color on the top of the brush. I am not digging that tone all up in that brush, okay? And you are going to take that blending brush and literally go in the outer corner of the eye where you had placed that color. Same idea, but this time you're just gonna kind of go back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. And you can bring it into the crease a little bit if you wanted to. Back and forth. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Back and forth. Awesome. Okay, do you see the difference? That color's just placed and it's blunt, and this one has just got some divine flow happening. Okay? This is how you create a smoky eye. And again, like I said, you can add more intensity with the pencil brush. You can also add more intensity with the blending brush. The difference is that the intensity of the pencil brush gives it more color, more like impact of color, where a blending brush will continue to soften it. Yes, so going back to Dawn said, are you going to further into your eyelid? Yes, you can. You can totally bring that color more into the eyelid, and you could pick up a little bit more of it and bring it into the eyelid. This, if you bring it more into the eyelid, you're creating more dimension. You're creating more intensity, and you're smoking. You're giving it that smoky effect. So yes, you can. Okay. Awesome. Gonna do the same thing, remember? Swirl the brush. Swirl that brush lightly. Tap it if you feel like you put too much. Just make, you know, I always have this habit of tapping, and just do it. Just do it just in case, because sometimes you can't really see how much product you put on. And again, a little bit goes a long ways. But what's amazing is that when you have that technique of a little bit going a long ways, you can build on top of that, because if you put way too much product on, it's hard to take away. Okay? So again, outer corner, back and forth, circular motions as well too, and then bringing it into the crease, back and forth. But do you see what that blending brush is doing? That blending brush is just changing the game. It's softening, it's moving tone easily and softly and in the areas that you want it to. Okay? Awesome. All right, how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Oh shoot, I'm liking my eye makeup. All right. And if you have any questions afterwards, please put them in the comment box below. I want to answer as much as I can. I want to answer all your questions. Okay. Yeah, it's dramatic but subtle, and that's exactly how you want it. Like, especially when you do a smoky eye. And I could have done like a little bit less, like I said, like I could have picked up less with the pencil brush, so it wouldn't be as like intense. But I'm Barbara, so Barbara, what comes with Barbara is extra. Yeah. Okay. Moving forward. So we've done the eyeshadow base, we did the transition tone, we did the outer corner, we blended that outer corner color more into the crease, and now we're going to do the color on the eyelid. So the whole entire time, going back to the finishes of the eyeshadows, the whole entire time that I did this, they were all matte tones. Are you noticing what matte tones do? They literally allow the colors again to look blended. They transition better. They just have a very good relationship. They're each other's helpmate. Oh my God, I'm taking all biblical terms and turning it into makeup. This is crazy. I love it. They're just meant for one another. Different matte tones. They're meant for one another. Okay, and this is where we get the rebel. We're gonna use shimmer. Now you can totally do a matte on your eyelid if you wanted to keep everything matte looking. But if you wanted to jazz it up and you wanted a little bit of shimmer and you wanted to really make your eyes pop, this is the only place that you put your your shimmer would be right here. But I'm gonna explain exactly with the brush and how to. You're not gonna put your shimmer anywhere else, just in the center of your lids. Okay. So when you pick up your, I'm trying to decide what kind of shimmer because I want it to pop. I want to show you guys that pop. So when you pick up your eyeshadow, you're going to pick up that eyeshadow again. Oh, and again, going back with the flat brush that you used for your eyeshadow base, I'm showing you how you can multi-use your brushes. Multi-use them. And you're going to pick up that eyeshadow tone on one side of the brush. Same idea as you did that eyeshadow base, and you could tap it, okay? And when you put on that shimmer, you're going to press that shimmer at the center of your lid, at the bottom base of your lid, center, inner corner, only on the lid, bringing it towards the dark, but try your best to not touch that dark that you had done, okay? And you're gonna bring it as close as you can so you can create that dimension. Okay? And putting like a shimmer at the center of your eye like this. Are you noticing the difference how this kind of like my eye has raised up versus this is kind of more in? Anything that you put light on your face, and as you can see, I'm already like contoured and highlighted just from doing my makeup previously. I did everything light here, but I did everything darker here. So dark brings in, light brings out. And this literally gives like a beautiful, like even structure to your face, and you're really highlighting features of the face that you should highlight versus contouring parts of the face. Awesome. Yay. Monique said, Lord, I'm going to have to watch this 10 times. Yes, but this is what it's here for. This is what, and if you have any questions, please ask them in the comment box. I am more than willing to answer them as much as I can. I did see a question very quickly about darker skin tones. I'm going to see if I could try to kind of put out like a sheet of tones as to what works best for complexions. I'm going to try my best for that. But going back to the tones, you always want to stick to neutral, earthy, warm tones for just to wear on an everyday basis, or just to use that's easy and that's going to complement you best, and it's not going to make you think outside the box. Okay? All right. So going back to the eyeshadow application for the shimmer, you're gonna press it right into the inner corner of the eye, center. For the whole entire time you're doing that, you're pressing. You notice that? And I don't know if I mentioned that. I am pressing. I am not doing this, and I'm not doing that. I am pressing, and the reason why I'm pressing the product is because when you press product, it literally allows that product to really sit on the skin, but when you're pressing, you're seeping it into the skin. So when it's sitting and sitting, like when it's sitting and seeping into it, that sitting application, you can see it. You can see it for what it is. You can see that shimmer gleam. You can see that shimmer say, hey girl, hey. And then when you're pressing it like this, right, you're allowing that product to really just stay put. Make sense? Awesome. Awesome. Yay. All right, so let's see. Let's do some eyeliner. And I am going to challenge you, ladies. I'm going to challenge you. And we're going to use a gel eyeliner and an angle brush. Ooh. So there's pencil eyeliners, there's liquid eyeliners, there's like the eyeliners that they're liquid too, but they come like in a felt pen, but then there's the other ones that come like in a thin brush. I swear by gel eyeliner. Once you learn how to do it, you never want to do anything else. And that's just my opinion, but I have done, again, many classes before, and I literally persuade women to use this because it's so user-friendly once you get it down. It doesn't look user-friendly. It looks like, what the frick is this? Yeah, like, what is this? You know what I mean? What is amazing about it is it's gel liner is creamy. So being that it's creamy, you can literally like pick it up with an angle brush, right? And you can just line it, it just goes on so smooth. Like it just goes on. Where with the pencil, sometimes I feel like you gotta tug and pull, and depending on the quality of the pencil, it just, if it's cheaper, it's not gonna go on smoother. Sometimes it goes on thicker if your pencil's not sharp enough, or it's not sharpened, or doesn't sharpen right. Like, I'm telling you, gel liner is like amazing. All right, just to kind of keep things going, with gel liner, you want to use an angle brush, and the purpose of an angle brush is to allow you to line your eyes, and there's angle brushes do other things too, for it to go on as precise as you want it to be. Do you see that? And how easy that was? As you can see what an angle brush looks like. It has one side has more of a longer end, and the other side has a shorter end. This matters why the brush is made that way. Because when you put on your gel eyeliner, you always want the longest end to point inward of your eye. You always want the longest end of the brush to point inward of the eye, because if you had done it the other way, you're not going with the flow of the brush. And the brush is made this way because literally your eyes do angle down. It doesn't look like it does, but it does. And it makes it easier for you to control that line and to get an easy flow. Okay? Going back to somebody saying that they're just heavy-handed, here's the thing. Your pickup of product matters. It really matters. So when you're picking up your eyeliner, ladies, and let's say you're doing it from the pot, okay? When you're picking up your gel eyeliner, it's so important that you're picking up that gel liner on both sides of the brush and at the top, and then you're pressing that brush, whether it be like on your hand or on a paper towel. You're pressing that brush because you want that product to really just press into the brush up top and on both sides. If you have gunk on the brush, that's exactly what it's gonna look like. Exactly. Okay? So, wish me luck on how I'm going to introduce this step. Put all your blessings over me. You know, put it all over me so I can show you, because I'm probably gonna be making some crazy looking faces. But anyways, when you use when you apply eyeliner, again, the longest end of the brush always points inward. And wherever you place color on the face, that's where it's going to show up the most. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you start your eyeliner, you always want to start at the center rather than the inner corner, because wherever you place color on the face, that's where it shows up the most. And if you tend to be heavy-handed, you never want to start in the inner corner. You want to start at the center, where you want it, you know, where it's okay to be super visible, and then I'll explain the flow of it. All right. So you're going to get really, really, really close to the mirror, right? Let's see if I can really attempt to do this. And you're going to press that eyeliner right against the lash line, pressing and gliding. Okay? Pressing and gliding. Woo! Lord Jesus, I did it. Well, I hope it was, you know, a teachable moment. It wasn't. I'm gonna do the other eye. I'm doing the other eye. I'm doing the other eye. All right. Again, your pickup of product matters on the brush. Remember how I explained that? Make sure you're pressing the product into the brush up top. There's no gunk whatsoever. Okay, I'm going to attempt to do this. This is lefty. Put your blessings over me that I can do this and show you guys at the same time. Okay. Remember, always start at the center. You're going to press and glide. Press and glide. Press and glide. Ooh, all right. Press and glide. And then whatever you have left on that brush, you're going to bring it into the inner corner. Hey, girl, hey. No, so somebody asked me, does gel eyeliner dry fast? Depending on the quality of the eyeliner, and that really does matter. When you're doing your gel eyeliner though, you always want to close it and then reopen it again just to keep the moisture. Or let's say that you forget to do that, you can literally like take the gel eyeliner and just put it like this and it'll seal the air. It'll keep it airtight, okay? All right. Yay! All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next step just for time purposes. And I will try to go back to the eyeliner if we have time, but I wanted to go back with, I wanted to really talk about eyeliner. Mascara. Sorry guys, I don't mean to confuse you. Mascara. But that was basically the eyes. It was pretty simple. Those are the fundamental steps as to how you put on your eyeshadows, eyeliner, and now we're gonna do mascara. So I'm gonna introduce different types of mascaras. I'm not gonna really get into brands, but I want to show you differences in these mascaras. So how long are you supposed to have your mascara before you throw it out? And that's for the frequent users, people who use mascara all the time. How long are you supposed to have it before you throw it out? I'm going to answer that question right now. 6 to 8 weeks. Yes, Don, 1 month is good. 6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks. You want to throw your mascara out after 6 to 8 weeks. And the reason why you want to do that is because when you put on mascara on your eye, you have bacteria in your eye. That bacteria goes back in the bottle. That bacteria stays in the bottle. That bacteria grows in the bottle, and that bacteria goes back on your eyelashes, increasing the risk of getting a sty, an infection. I feel like it could impair your vision over time if you're not conscious of it. So it's really important that you're throwing out your mascara 6 to 8 weeks if you are frequently use it, whether it be 2-3 times or every day, a week. Okay, so for mascaras, going back to them, there's different mascaras. There's mascaras with thick brushes. There's mascaras with thin little brushes, and there's mascaras that have like a bend to them. So people think that the quality of the mascara is in the formula. No. The quality of the mascara has to do with the brushes, the way that the brush is made. And these brushes are made differently depending on what you want to get out of it. Whether you want it to be more volumized, or you want it to be more defined, or you want it to be more do both, or you want it to kind of elongate, or there's just so many different mascaras out there. So I'm gonna use my favorite one. This one's from L'Oreal. It's called Telescopic. And when you put on your mascara, ladies, you literally just want to get really close to the mirror and just start from the root of the lash and bring it upward. I'm not gonna lie to you, I put like tons and tons and tons of coats. Sometimes I'll do 2 different types of mascaras over my eyes. But the trick is that you want to be as quick as you can with it, because when the formula is moist, that's where it goes on more smoother and more easier. When it dries down, that's where your eyeshadow clumps. So it's so important that you're really taking advantage of using that mascara when it's super like the formula is like super wet, just so you can really get like an easy flow of the lashes. Okay, and here I go with my 3rd coat because I'm extra. But you don't have to do all this, but I love it. I love like a big lash. Okay, do you see that? Yay! Yes, Dawn, isn't this mascara amazing? I love this mascara. Okay. So bring it to the root and bring it up. And again, do as many coats as you want, but you want to make sure that you're quick with it. Awesome. And this is the opportunity to also do your bottom. When you do your bottom, you want to be very, very particular. Get to the roots and just kind of bring it away from the eye. When you do bottom mascara, it actually opens up your eyes a bit. Okay, so let's say that you got mascara on your eye. People have a tendency to take like a makeup wipe or their finger or go like this. Don't do that, that's disgusting. And wipe off their mascara. Don't do that. Let it sit. Let that mascara like sit on your eyes for as long as you can. Once that mascara, that mess up of mascara, sits like for maybe 5 minutes or longer, take a Q-tip and flick it, like scrape it and it'll flick off because mascara flakes once it dries down. It's the craziest thing, but that's just a little trick. So I want to make sure that I covered pretty much everything. Eyeliner for the bottom. I'm not going to really get too much into it. I'm going to try to see if I can just kind of talk about it a little bit. You could totally take your gel eyeliner and do it for the bottom eyeliner. It will make it a little bit more intense, but I love to use eyeshadow with my angle brush and take the darkest tone that I had done underneath the eyes and take eyeshadow and literally sweep it like right underneath my eyes, just like that. And I like to kind of do it like maybe just like on the outer corners, but you can also bring it in. Now remember, if your eyes are more close set, you want to be careful to bring eyeliner in. You want to almost kind of keep your eyeliner halfway to keep that openness of the eyes or to define it even more. For those of you who have more of a wide, eyes are more far apart, then take advantage of bringing the eyeliner a little bit more in. Okay, any questions? I want to make sure that I covered everything, but I want to go back to the brushes real quick for eye brushes. I mean, there was one brush that I didn't introduce. That's something we can introduce that when we do more technique, when we do like a full-on smoky eye. I'm definitely going to do a class on that. And we're going to do a class on wing eyeliner and false lashes. But that's, later on we'll be doing all of that. I want you ladies to attain all the fundamental skills and what it is to apply makeup flawlessly and understand the underlying steps to make your makeup look this flawless with attaining or retaining simple steps. Okay, so going back with the brushes, I basically used, I don't want to get confused. Okay, yeah, so that was your eyeshadow brush that we used the eyeshadow base for and the glimmer. And then we used the blending brush, which is a must-have. And this is what placed your transition tone in your crease and softened tones. And then this was your pencil brush that allowed the color to go in the area that you need to, the darker tone. And then this is your angle brush to put on your eyeliner. All right. Yay! So Sacred Circle, the experts are introducing one-on-one classes. So I'm not sure if you guys got the email today. So if you wanted to get like a one-on-one class with me and get the opportunity for me to really show you what's customizable for you when you want to learn how to do like a full face of makeup or whatever you want to learn on makeup, and I am there to suggest exactly what's for you. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. I will answer them. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you like this makeup. As you can see, I'm rocking that dark lip inspired by Chanel with her classes that she had done these past 3 days. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you all. And I will, oh, your assignment. Show me this 3 eyeshadow placement that I showed you. Show it to me. Show me in pictures over the weekend. I mean, I don't know who's been impacted by the snow, but I've been home all day long because I can't get out with this 1 foot of snow outside. So, but show me pictures. I want to see. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful night. God bless you. God covers you. And have a great night. Bye.